Grady Newsource.
Burglars broke into this gun store that you can see behind me by driving through a wall. Coming up, I'll tell you what police know.
And this UGA freshman wants to make sure what happened to her doesn't happen to you.
I asked him if I was gonna die. That's what he told me.
Plus, the nationwide measles outbreak.
According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the measles cases this year have reached a 25-year record high.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College at the University of Georgia, this is Grady Newsource.
Good evening and welcome to Grady Newsource. I'm Christina Evans.
And I'm Brittany Paris.
Our top story tonight, burglars slam a stolen Jeep through the wall of a local gun club. Let's take a look. So you'll be able to see the Jeep crash through the front door in the upper right frame of the video. A group of masked men then jump out and begin to ransack the store. Grady Newsource reporter Sarah Hammond is live at the scene with more of that dramatic video.
Straight into the gun club at about 4:30 Sunday morning. Police say they took long guns and pistols, and they're still looking for the men. Looking for 5 men who drove a stolen Jeep into the Athens Gun Club early Sunday morning. This is surveillance video of the red 1997 Jeep Grand Cherokee smashing through the front door as 4 other men steal firearms.
Anytime offenders would break into a gun store and steal weapons, it's very concerning to us because the nature of this, these are weapons that can be used for other crimes, and so we are concerned and we hope to be able to locate them as soon as possible.
Employees of the gun range declined to go on camera because they said they want to let the investigation run its course, but one employee did tell me that after the burglars smashed into the wall with their car, they were in and out in about 45 seconds. Only one man is seen here on camera without a mask. The men left the Jeep inside of the store and fled the scene in a white Audi with a sunroof, which you can see in this video. ACCPD is still actively investigating the burglary. They are looking into a possible connection to a similar incident in Loganville that happened in the middle of April.
Our detectives are asking that anybody who has any information about this incident, even relatively minor, to please contact the Athens-Clarke County Police Department.
For Grady Newsource, I'm Sarah Hammond. Now, the gun club behind me is about halfway through repairing the damage to their store. Crime Stoppers is offering a $1,000 reward for any information leading to their arrest. For Grady Newsource, I'm Sarah Hammond.
We have breaking news. Athens-Clarke County Police have obtained a sexual assault warrant for a teacher at Clark Central High School. Police say they investigated a potentially inappropriate incident between 23-year-old Kara Elizabeth Colson and a student. The Clark County School District released a statement which reads in part, "While we cannot share more information due to our need to protect the student and the nature of the investigation, we want to reiterate that our first and most important responsibility is the safety of all students." A new study says that distracted drivers are 36% more likely to be involved in an accident. The Smart Drive study also says that distracted drivers are 91% more likely to swerve out of their lane. I spoke with a student at UGA who was texting and driving in high school when an accident changed her life.
I was on my phone, with one hand, like this. And when I looked up, I was not on the road.
When she realized she had swerved off the road, Carla says she overcorrected and flipped her car 3 times. Carla is now in a wheelchair after she was trapped under her car, and she owes her life to a passerby who called 911.
I asked him if I was gonna die. That's what he told me. And he answered no. The ambulance is on its way.
Carla has been in and out of the hospital since her 2016 accident and goes to physical, speech, and occupational therapy 4 times a week. Since the accident, new laws have been put in place to help combat distracted driving. The United States Department of Transportation says you can travel the entire length of a football field, like Sanford right behind me, just by looking at your phone for 5 seconds. Before the law, Georgians were using their phones while driving for nearly 12 minutes every hour. After the law, distracted driving fell 21%. For those still texting and driving, Carla has one message.
Just don't. It's just don't. Like, it's not worth it. Like, what you're left with is not worth it. Carla told me she hopes one day she'll be strong enough to walk around campus and perhaps even fulfill her dream of moving to New York City. We wish her all the best.
The nationwide measles outbreak has sparked a lot of conversations about vaccines. Grady Newsource reporter Veronica Obey talked to the immunization coordinator for Northeast Georgia, and now Veronica joins us live from the newsroom. Veronica?
There are now 6 confirmed cases of measles in Georgia, 3 members of one family and 3 members of another family. None were vaccinated. The Centers for Disease Control says there are now 704 cases of measles in the U.S., and the disease has spread to 22 states, Georgia being one of them. The CDC says there are 6 confirmed cases in our state. Here in Northeast Georgia, Cheyenne Candelario is the immunization coordinator. She says we have nothing to worry about as of now.
Luckily, we have not seen any positive cases of measles in our district.
Candelario said that if you take your temperature and see that you have a temperature of at least 101 degrees, or you find a rash on your body, those are signs that you could have measles.
Candelario said outbreaks like the measles usually happen in communities that don't get vaccinated. Parents or individuals who are against vaccines, you see more incidents of vaccine-preventable diseases. It is available for adults who are in high-risk settings.
Candelario says it's important to get vaccinated for the sake of those around you.
You put several people, hundreds of people at risk when you think you're just making a decision for yourself, but ultimately it affects everyone in your community.
Candelario told me that you can keep up with the measles outbreak at cdc.gov to see if there are any measles cases near you. I'm Veronica Obey in the newsroom. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Veronica. The University of Georgia's 2019 spring commencement ceremony is right around the corner. Grady Newsource reporter Danny Terzer is live at Sanford Stadium with a look at what the temperatures have been like for previous graduations.
Commencement is on May 10th, just 2 weeks away, and it will happen right here behind me at Sanford Stadium. I'll be there, and most likely it will be hot. It's a little too early to predict the temperatures, but let's take a look at previous temperatures on graduation day. In 2015, the high for graduation day was 87 degrees. 2016 was a little cooler at 83. In 2017, the temperatures dipped as low as 60 degrees. Last year's graduation was a hot 85 degrees. In recent years, rain hasn't been an issue, but in the case of inclement weather, where rain is accompanied by high winds, thunder, or lightning, the ceremony will take place on the following morning at 10 a.m.
How a local business owner is putting her talents to good use.
And whether it's your career, happiness, or health, one UGA student is trained to put some pep into your step.
Hi, I'm Peter, and there's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends. Come on in, help yourself to anything. That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ate than never. To learn more, visit SaveTheFood.com.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Attention travelers, next Tuesday a major power outage will cause complete chaos throughout the city. Food, water, and phone service will be in short supply. There will likely be panic citywide. Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Our next story is really juicy. Grady Newsource reporter Madison Lupo introduces us to a woman who turned her own health issues into a healthy business.
Now I tell people I went from education to vegucation.
After teaching elementary school for 15 years, Amy Lawrence, owner of Journey Juice, found her real passion was in food education. More specifically, the juice business.
Once you drink it and you see how much better you feel, you get it.
Amy suffered from several health issues in her early 30s, so she followed in the footsteps of a very ill friend to take charge of her own health.
She was going through stage 4 breast cancer, and she had decided not to do chemotherapy. So she was juicing carrots all the time. She was 24 at the time, and she's now 38 years old. So I decided, oh my God, well, I'm going to try this too.
Little did Amy know that juice would change her life. From eliminating some of her health issues to inspiring a new career, it's easy to say juice is her life. Journey Juice was already here but had closed in 2015. Amy jumped at the chance to reopen its doors.
I was like, I could do this. I can totally do this. I've been juicing at home for years. So I did it. Leap of faith.
The USDA recommends 5 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. Amy says most people don't even get 4. But she says one 16-ounce bottle of her juice contains 6 servings.
I just want people to improve their quality of life because that's what I'm able to do with this little juice store.
Amy says at this point in her life, it's all about the journey, living in the now and focusing on the present.
Life's a journey. Make it juicy.
Madison Lupo, Grady Newsource.
Amy says she hopes to continue to educate people on their health and get juice into markets that don't already have it.
A student by day and a life coach by night. I spoke with a young woman who is working to help others live their best lives through her certified life coaching.
Yeah, like this is the office.
Julianne Plummer is in the business of life. Life coaching, that is. The 22-year-old UGA student is the happy owner of a life coaching business she started just last summer.
I'm more so like, this sounds kind of corny, but like a life coach. Like I really help people to start enjoying more of their life and finding out what fulfills them.
Julianne says more people are familiar with therapists, but wants people to understand there is a distinct difference between the two professions.
Therapists and certain psychologists, they help you to get from, being stuck in the past or, being in that really rough space to being okay in the present moment now. But then the life coach is the next step. So I'm in the present moment now, but how do I get to where I want to be and how do I start maximizing my life experience?
As a senior marketing major, Julianne hasn't let her course load prevent her from growing her business. She tells me that she's seen around 30 clients in the past year.
Some of my clients say things like, oh, I've saved their life. And I'm like, whoa, no, that's this is work that we did together. That was you. And they're just no, just the work that you did was just that powerful and that beneficial.
On Instagram, where a lot of her clients find her, she goes by The Hidden Geisha after being inspired by the 2005 film Memoirs of a Geisha. The Hidden Geisha does all of her life coaching virtually through her webcam video chats.
No, this is, literally where the magic happens. But it's so accessible. You don't have to be anywhere, and you don't have to come to my office. My office is wherever you are.
After graduation, Julianne has accepted a position with LinkedIn in San Francisco and plans to continue to grow her business online. Julianne is hoping to continue to grow her life coaching business until it is her full-time job.
I'm Majesty Bass here with your Grady Newsource Sports. Coming up, I'll be talking to a senior equestrian team member and her last ride as a dog at UGA.
Thank you. Did you see anyone tomorrow? Thanks for helping us.
We do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
I love
Can we get strawberries?
Okay.
And now, sports.
I'm Majesty Bass, here with your Grady Sports. The 9th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs dropped 5 spots in the rankings today after being swept by Mississippi State this weekend. It was the first time UGA has been swept in any series since 2017. The Bulldogs have lost 4 in a row after dropping the final game of their season series against Georgia Tech last week. This is their longest losing streak of the season. The Bulldogs will return to the Diamond tomorrow night against the Citadel. UGA's equestrian team finished second in the nation. I spoke with Lila Owens about her final season on the equestrian team and what it was like to compete at UGA.
Boca Raton, Florida.
You got it, Lila. Finish.
Lila is a Western rider for the UGA equestrian team. During her time competing for the team, she has won 2 SEC titles. Now, with her last competition behind her, I asked her about how she ended up at UGA.
And I was in orientation, and I got a call from an Athens number. I remember thinking, I don't know who this could be. I literally got here an hour ago, and it was actually the Western coach here at UGA.
She has competed with the horse Banjo. Before she saddles him up for competition, she sprays bug spray to keep the flies away while she's riding, and also brushes him. She then goes and chooses a saddle from the equipment room along with bits. Lila has done every role on the team and worked her way up into the starting lineup.
I've gone from a warm-up rider, a scribe, someone that helps just at meets, to...
As a senior, Lila had more of a leadership role on the team, helping them change the way they trained to improve.
We came home for 2 weeks. We put ourselves through boot camp. We rode every single day. We pushed ourselves in the weight room. We just focused on being the best version of ourselves we could. And we got to nationals and we were ready to hit the ground running, and we did.
Lila will be graduating in May with a degree in communication studies. 15 senior track and field dogs were honored during the Taryn Lawrence Memorial Final this past weekend. This group will go down in history because they were part of the team that won the NCAA titles in 2018 for men and women. Sophomore Aaliyah Wispy leads the NCAA in long jump and is now ranked 3rd on the 2019 world list and number 2 on the all-time UGA list. That's your Grady Newsource Sports. I'm Majesty Bass.
I'm Danny Terzer with your Northeast Georgia forecast. We've got a beautiful week coming up, sunny skies and high temperatures with possible thunderstorms later on in the week. I'll give you all those details coming up.
Are your children in the right car seat for their age and size? Is the seat supposed to be forward-facing or rear-facing? Did they move to a booster seat too soon? It may be too late to check when you're on the road. Fortunately, you're on the couch. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Don't think you know. Know you know.
I'm a single mother, and I was the main one working, so I never thought that I could go back to school, you know? My sister, my mother, everybody wanted to help me with my kids. I could not have gotten my diploma without my family.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 mile per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
And now, the weather.
I'm Danny Terzer with your Northeast Georgia forecast. We've got a warm week coming up, high temperatures, possible thunderstorms later in the week, and I'll give you a look at your 5-day forecast. Athens tonight at 6 p.m., 83 degrees. By 9 p.m., still 72. It's going to be hot, cooling off just a little by midnight at 66 degrees. Into tomorrow, another beautiful day, 9 a.m., 67, warming up by noon, 80 degrees, and it's going to keep getting hotter. By 3 p.m., it will be 87 degrees. Tomorrow night, looking overnight tonight, mostly clear skies, 59 degrees for tonight. Going into another hot day tomorrow, 80 degrees, mostly sunny. Looking at your 5-day forecast, a beautiful start to the week. That chance of thunderstorms that I was mentioning coming in later in the week, 20% chance on Thursday, 40% chance on Friday, but mid to high 80s in the temperatures all week long. That's a look at your Northeast Georgia forecast. I'm Danny Terzer.
What's better than getting active at the gym? Doing it for free. We'll tell you where and how coming up.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like here.
A teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
I'm ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where the cats go on vacation? New York.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Planet Fitness is rolling out a new program this summer that will allow teens to work out for free. Grady Newsource reporter Sydney Heiberger tells us why the gym is taking the initiative to get teenagers off the couch and onto the treadmill.
Researchers at the Common Sense Family Technology Education Group say teens spend nearly 9 hours a day in front of a screen.
With this generation especially, there's just so much out there, as far as our cell phones and computers and TVs and things like that. When I grew up, we were outside playing all the time.
Amy Hall of Planet Fitness Athens says that's exactly why every Planet Fitness location around the country is offering teens aged 15 to 18 free summer workouts.
They're not signing up for a membership. There's no catch. You know, they can just come and go for the summer.
Here's how it works. Teens come in with their parents and sign a digital waiver. And then they're free to work out at no cost all summer long. And for parents who are worried about leaving their teen at the gym all alone, Amy says there's an option for them too.
Now, if the parents want to come, they can come. They will be able to have a one-day free pass.
Denidra Watkins also works at Planet Fitness. She says that when teens are on their phones, they're not engaging in physical activity and could be involved in other unhealthy behaviors.
You're not moving at all while you're on your phone or playing video games, and you're just sitting there, and you're probably eating as well. So you're gaining, gaining the extra weight and just being sedentary.
Hall says that diet and exercise can ward off heart disease, cancer, and diabetes, and it's never too early to start moving. Sydney Heiberger, Grady Newsource.
Hall says teens who sign up to work out also automatically get enrolled in a sweepstakes to win scholarship money. She says each state will win an award. One teen will win $500 and one lucky teen will win $5,000.
That's a lot of money for a teenager.
I know, maybe enough money to get me to the gym.
Oh my gosh. But that's our newscast for tonight. I'm Christina Evans.
And I'm Brittany Paris. For the final time this semester, thank you for watching.
Good night.
Grady Newsource is a student production of the Grady College of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of Georgia, which is solely responsible for its contents. Views expressed do not represent those of the administration nor the Board of Regents at the University System of Georgia.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Is your family in need of more quality time together?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. Nature is best enjoyed together. So bring the whole family to discover all the bonding and stress-reducing benefits parks and forests have to offer. Visit discovertheforest.org and trade in phone time for family time.
Birds, squirrels, chipmunks, grass, worms, bugs, trees, rocks, and other objects in nature cannot talk. If you'd like to have a conversation while visiting nature, you will need to bring humans along. We strongly recommend starting with your family.
La 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 la, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Today, some people from the UGA Marketing and Communications Department, is that right? Okay, cool. Are filming Newsource today, incidentally, just in time for our last show, so if you see some cameras wandering around, that's them. My name is Sarah Bertolini. I was the senior production manager today for the last final show of the semester. Great. Before I start crying here and ruin everything on live TV, Devin Summers was our And it's pretty customary for seniors leaving Newsource to have kind of like a few last words. So I asked him to prepare something. So
You just say that.
I don't know if it's good or bad, so I hope that was a good lead-in.
I don't have that much prepared.
That's okay.
I'll just start with the show. I thought that was a really great show. Y'all's stuff was really good. And I know I wasn't as present this semester. The class definitely knows that. The crew 100% knows that. No, but you guys produced really cool stuff. There's a lot of really good elements in there, a lot of good creativity, and breaking news coming in on the last day. Sticking with it and actually getting that together was really cool, and I'm glad I could be a part of it this semester. Some parting thoughts, I guess. So I've been in Newsource or in and around Newsource for pretty much my whole time at college. I got involved as a crew member my freshman year, first semester, and then I was a manager that second semester, freshman year. I heard the name Newsource before I even came to Georgia. I remember on my orientation day, I met Mallory Blount, if you guys know. I'm sure Dodie remembers. She's awesome. She's up in D.C. now, I think, doing stuff with the White House. So she's very cool. Anyway, I met her my freshman year before I even was at Georgia, and she introduced me to Newsource, and I told her I wanted to do production. And at that time, there were a lot of faces that none of you would ever recognize in Newsource, but some people that really helped build this place to what it is today to help you guys get to the places that you're going to be next year and years beyond. So I met a lot of them coming into Georgia, and before them, there was a whole new crop that I had never met. So this is a long-standing thing, and there's a lot of people that have come through here and are in some really cool places now. And I know I'll forever be grateful of those people, and moving forward, I hope I can be a resource to people that are coming up in Newsource that can eventually get to places that they want to be. But like I said, she introduced me to Newsource. She said, if you want to go into production, get involved with the managers. They're really cool people. So I guess Lukman and Dylan were my first managers, my first SPMs. They were awesome. They really had a great culture here. They made things fun and enjoyable, and I really was ignorant to the fact of how much they do for the show and how much goes on behind the scenes. If anybody follows Bird on Instagram, give her a follow and watch her story today, because it walks through everything that she's doing today, and it's honestly incredible. And a lot of things that they do, and they get here every morning and put in a ton of time, it's incredible how much time they're willing to volunteer to make this happen every day. So if you haven't already, give them a big thank you and a hug. Bert's a big hugger, if you didn't know. No, she's not. Are you? Okay, she is a little bit. No, but they put in a ton of time, and they make this show what it is from a technical standpoint. And from bottom of my heart, it's amazing to see you guys work and do the things that you do every day. So thank you and Lucia for this semester. It's been awesome. And all the managers that have come before, this has been a huge part of my college and a huge part of who I am at Georgia. And a lot of the things that I do here, none of my friends have any idea what happens. And I'm sure you guys have the exact same experience, where you try to explain the things that are stressful in this room and absolutely nobody understands. And you develop the best relationships in here because it is that stressful. And you guys put in the time every single day to make that happen. So it is very cool to be a part of this community and a part of this, and I'm sure I'll be back seeing shows, and I hope I can stand up here as an alumni and talk about a show in the future. So thank you all in this room. Thank everybody who's watching this from past years. It's incredible to be a part of this group of people. So I guess just thank you.
Oh, no, come over here. Wait.
Yes, I'll be at ESPN doing live event replay for full-time in Bristol, Connecticut.
We also had Casey Rose, who is another graduating senior. She was the production coordinator today, so basically that means all the live shots that you saw today in the show, she was the one responsible for our technical staff on that side, making sure that they're out on time, that their shots set up, that they can hear us, and queuing as well for the show. But you also have things to say.
Well, now that Devin's already made me tear up before I started talking, that was awesome. So kind of like Devin, I've been here for 4 years. I started volunteering my freshman year. I was in the class last semester, and no one understands what it's like to go through that until you have. So congratulations, you're done. Have lots of pizza tonight. But seriously, I think it is worth saying that like people don't get this experience at other colleges. Like when I tell people who go to other journalism schools that I'm friends with that like we did this every single day, they're like, are you kidding me? Like I'm trying to like go into my first job and like learn how to do this. Like this isn't a thing, and I think we're really, really lucky for that. I know I grew up more during this class than I thought was possible as a journalist and as a person, and the people around you really make that happen. It's like, yeah, obviously the stories that you tell, but like leaning on each other more than anything. But beyond that, I think for me, like the crew and you guys have been my people the past 4 years, and I'm involved in like other things, obviously, but like I remember coming through these doors every single day and feeling like just a wave of relief come over me because like you guys get it. Like you guys are in the same boat and just really cool people. And that's all I'm going to say because I'm going to start crying. So I'm going to give it back to Bert. Thanks, you guys. Yes, I move in 2.5 weeks to become a producer in Louisville. So that's not terrifying.
Cool. And then I also have something. I hope that's okay. I wrote it out though, so I don't know if that's good or bad, but I wrote it out. Last time when I graduated from undergrad, I listed out every single manager I had ever worked with as a thank you, and cried. But that list is far too long now because I've worked here 6 years with 6 years of managers, and I'll try my best not to cry. But after you two, that's going to be really hard. I would like to feature a few folks, though, that I think made my experience here at Newsource really meaningful. To Jake and Allie, my first SBMs, thank you for believing I was capable of being a manager and helping me learn how to do all the tasks. Thank you for cornering me in a hallway one day and saying, you're gonna direct next week, and giving me no option to get out of that. Without that push, I'm not sure I would miss directing as much as I do now. To Nikki, Brian, Noelle, and Rianne, thank y'all so much for being good friends in Newsource and beyond. From going to gym dog meets to dancing at the end of movies in Beechwood, we were alone, so you know, it's fine to be a little crazy. Y'all made my time here at UGA memorable, and I love being able to be in a group chat with y'all still, watching y'all's antics at work and also in your personal lives. It's just great. To the new managers, some of you are sitting in the control room now. I want to welcome you to the Newsource family. This is such an amazing and supportive group. It really is a family. Make the most out of your time here because it will go quickly. Trust me, even 6 years seems to have flown by in a snap. I have made lifelong friends here thanks to this place, and I hope that y'all do too. To my current managers, thank you so much for dealing with me this past year. I've learned a lot, and it was great to watch y'all evolve into the star-studded managers I knew you could be. Keep working hard. It'll be great to see how much further you progress, not only at Newsource, but in your future careers as well. And don't be a stranger. Feel free to text me or email me about anything. I've seen a lot of stuff at this point. I've worked with hundreds of managers, hundreds of crew members, 12 different Newsource classes, and 4 different professors to create hundreds of Newsource shows. I've seen it all at this point, losing power before a show, being harassed by PR representatives before a live shot. Fun times. Newsource truly has been an exciting experience, and I've loved every second of it. Thank you, guys. I don't have a job yet, so don't ask. I'll just willingly admit that, okay?
But she's leaving with her master's degree in emerging media. She's already got 2 bachelor's degrees.
Yeah.
And I believe that from Grady Newsource, analytics, which is the new frontier. In addition to this job, she has 2 other jobs. You've just been fantastic. So thank you so much. You're amazing.
Thank you for the past year.
Everything you've done. I wanted to mention Lucia's also.
Yes. Yes.
So Lucia's been with Newsource for 3 years. 3 years. And you know, if you don't know Lucia, come on out.
Oh. You might have to. Last day.
Okay, so Lucia is a junior majoring in entertainment media studies and film, and she's going to go on to devote more time to film projects, right? Okay.
Well, I mean, you know, just kind of riffing right now. I'm just kidding. But I don't know if you just said I've been here for 3 years. I started volunteering my first semester here because I wanted to do production stuff and learn more about it. I did it before I got into the EMC major, and I felt like that kind of gave me a leg up on everyone else, so that was really nice. I've met a lot of good people here. I've made a lot of good friends. I feel like whenever I'm in Grady at all, I can pass someone and there's like a really good chance I'll know who they are because I've come in contact with like hundreds of people through this at every stage here at Newsource. And I think that's really valuable, and I've made some really good connections and figured out things I want to do and things I don't want to do, which is just as important. And I will still be here physically because I graduate in a year, but I will be pursuing more film-related things because that's what I really want to do. So, but I do want to thank everyone who I've worked with, especially this past year, because I really have learned a lot as SPM about leadership, about people, about news overall, and what I can contribute in a landscape like this. So thank you for sticking with me in there, and I hope I've become less of a helicopter mom and more of a cool aunt who you can come to and talk about anything, and who will help you and guide you, because those are my goals. So thank you so much.
Okay, so it's a tradition to go around the table and talk about the class and what you guys have learned. What do you think could be better about the course? So I know that Brittany and Sydney have to go somewhere, so we're going to start with the two of them. Let me say first that I've learned a ton from you guys, and I've thoroughly enjoyed being with you, and you guys have just killed it as we've rolled into these last weeks of the semester. You've just gotten better and better and better, and I've just been amazed at your fine work. So anyway. All right, Brittany?
So I'll start. So kind of like everyone who's mentioned, I started volunteering with Newsource my freshman year of college, and I think it's been a valuable experience to learn kind of every step of the way what every position does, because any newsroom we're going to be in, you need to know what your colleagues are doing, and it's kind of nice that we can like put ourselves in those footprint, or put ourselves in their shoes. I think one thing that I really learned from Newsource was how to make relationships with your colleagues, but also relationships with people that you're interviewing, enough so that they'll give you their personal number and say, hey, if there's ever anything in our county, we'll call you, and things like that. I think that's really meaningful. And I think that's a testament to the teaching here at UGA, where they teach us, like, you're not just trying to get a soundbite, you're trying to make a story and tell someone else's story in the best way possible by getting all the facts correct, but also shedding light to an issue. So I think it's really great that we were able to connect so well with all of our people that we were interviewing. And I think for me personally, the biggest growth I had this semester was in graphics. I've never really built graphics before, but I think what it's turned into is like more of watching the news and realizing what I like in graphics, and then kind of being like, I can do that on my own. I'm going to build them for myself. So if there's one thing, like, takeaway that I'm really, really proud of, is I think I've mastered the art of making a graphic that I'm proud of.
Yeah, good.
So I was talking with Professor Shaven earlier today, just kind of reminiscing about the semester and talking about how much we've covered, stories ranging from honestly everything, like everything you can imagine this semester. I feel like we've covered it, which is really exciting, especially for a group of students, 12 students.
145 packages.
Right. 145 packages, and we're 12 students who really are still learning and developing, and to see all of the stuff that we were able to accomplish is really, really exciting. And also, I think just reflecting on the class as a whole, I don't think there's like a single person in the class that hasn't gotten so much better throughout the semester. So for me personally, I think if anything, I was kind of unsure the first day of class. You know, we all went around and said we wanted to do, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. And being in this class and being able to rotate through all the positions helped me realize the career path that I want to pursue. So that was really exciting for me, and I know a lot of people in this class have had really similar experiences, so it was a great opportunity, a lot of work, but I'm excited to stay in touch with everybody and hear how life
Well,
goes.
we have that group me, so hopefully we can. All right, good job. Thank you, Sydney.
I see you Wednesday.
Okay. Majesty?
Okay, so I just want to say thank you to everybody in the class for like bearing with me. I know I didn't have like as much experience as everyone else in the classroom, but I hope to think that I like put in the work to kind of like catch up. So I just pride myself for that, for like covering up lost ground. And then I'm really gonna miss like the connections that I made with everyone in the class and just everyone helping me out or just like teaching me something new. So that's something that was familiar with me from coming from a team and then coming to this new team of people in the newsroom. So yeah, I'm really gonna miss like the camaraderie that we all have.
Okay. All right, Christina?
I'm gonna keep mine short. So when I came here, I felt like I didn't really have like a lot of experience with certain things. And I remember the first week, I knew how to edit, but like I used to just struggle with like getting it in like in a timely manner. And my entire first package was edited by Donovan over there. You don't remember that? It would not have gotten on if it wasn't for him. So I feel like just like experiences like that, just working with everybody here, it was just so nice to be able to like make new friends and like pull things from different people, just like Majesty said, because I don't feel like you couldn't grow if it was an environment that was conducive for that. And that's one thing I will say that I feel like we really were able to, like, you guys would encourage us to step out of the box and try different new things with like Professor Shaven and Professor Cantrell and Professor Bright, Dr. Bright, and just everybody who was just here and helping us throughout the semester. So I'm just thankful for our time here, and yeah, it was fun. More than anything, it was fun.
All right. Danny?
Okay, yeah, so I feel like
Oh,
I've
Maddie.
come a long way. Oh, did you say Danny?
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I just feel like I've come a long way. I don't know if you remember Professor Shaven, but on our first day of class, I was like sitting out there crying in the hallway on the phone with my mom.
Yes, I remember.
He walked by and he was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah," and it was stressful. I barely got a package in, and I just felt like I was weak. And I was like, I don't want to be one of the weaker links in the class. And I just feel like since then, all of my skills in every aspect have just grown so much. And then even just developing thoughts on what I actually wanted to do with my life, because 2 years ago, I thought I was going to be an editor-in-chief. So I was at magazines, like interning, and then wanting to be a reporter, and then getting in here and realizing, which I'm thankful for, that that's not exactly what I enjoy doing, and I'm more of a producer type of gal. And then just even Professor Cantrell, you were in here the one day that Grade Television was here, and you asked me what I was doing with my life, and I said, I have no idea. And then you said you should go to the interviews tomorrow, and I did, and a job came out of it, and I'm going to Augusta to produce, which is just, I never would have thought in a million years that I would have a job right now, so it's cool. And other than that, yeah, just getting to know you people and spending all this time, even outside of class, just collaborating and making true friendships. So.
And going up in small planes, which
Yeah,
surprised all of us.
I got to go up in a plane without permission, but it was worth it. And I lived, and so it was fine. And I didn't get taken by the pilot. I don't know. But yeah, just so many cool experiences, meeting so many cool people, just even getting out and always learning about new things and new people and their stories is just a cool experience.
That's great. Danny?
So I feel like I came in here like knowing that I wanted to do sports reporting. So I'm really happy with the content that I got to do on that front. But I do appreciate like getting the opportunity to do news as well, and you telling me that that's going to help me in the long run too, because I can see now how working on those stories, so much more than what the topic of the story was about, helped me, just putting me outside my comfort zone, pushing me, solving problems throughout the day to make the story happen, challenging me, all those kind of things help kind of no matter what I want to do. So I think that's been like the best part of this experience for me, and just how much it like simulates what it's going to be like in the real world. Even if you don't want to work in a newsroom, I think that there's so many things that you can take away from this class that are going to help kind of no matter where any of us go, whether it's our first job or second. So I'm just really happy I took this class and got through, and it was fun.
It was great to have you. Thanks, Dan. Vera.
So I think that my two biggest loves and the two biggest things that I've always wanted to pursue in a career are people and learning. And I think that in journalism, that's like one of the biggest gifts of the profession, is that it's your job to constantly learn something new every single day. And so I think that being in this class and being challenged to pursue stories, my biggest takeaways are just being able to communicate and build relationships and communicate why the story is so important, and that it's more important than the self-consciousness that you might have about being an inconvenience to someone, and that the story is always more important than that. And then just doing that in a timely way that's something in life that like I'll always be able to look back on and be like, oh, I learned how to do this and I'm comfortable with it because of Newsource.
That's a great lesson. Yeah. Sarah?
So kind of like Danny, I came in knowing that I wanted to MMJ, but I still like loved rotating at, like everyone else said, loved rotating out the positions, because I remember when I had to produce the first time, I thought I was going to die because I had no idea what I was doing. I could have done it without Savannah. It was a very stressful day, and then, you know, I feel like we've covered so much stuff. Like I feel like with the shooting that just happened, and then like the gene-edited lizard, and like the water reclamation Valentine's Day. Like it's just, you know, we all got to do things that we probably wouldn't have gotten to do like in any other class. Like I feel like this class is just such like a blessing going out to the real world, because it is like a working newsroom and you are on deadline and people are like relying on this news. You have to take it seriously. So I think that it's just like it was just such a great experience. And I just like laugh thinking back at like the first day, like none of us really knew each other like at all. Like nobody was really talking to each other. And now, like I feel like we need help. You'll at the drop of a hat, like people were always helping everybody else. And I think that's such like a important thing in a newsroom. It was such like a community in here and like a little family, if you will. And it's just been like the best semester in college that I've had, and it's just been a joy to work with all of you. And I don't know what else to say that hasn't already been said, but I feel like we've all just gotten so much more than we probably thought we would out of this class, and it's just been great.
Cool. And you're off to MAZ in Macon.
In Macon.
Excellent. Veronica.
Wow. Well, it's just everything. You know, I guess what makes it different for me is I transferred to UGA, and I specifically came here knowing that Grady was one of the top in the nation. So I wanted to get involved immediately and found out about Newsource, so I volunteered, was a manager on and off a little bit, and just was always eager to get into this class and see what it was like to actually be on this side. So then once I finally got here, it was nothing that I ever imagined it being. I knew I was going to be pushed and challenged, but I didn't think I was going to be pushed and challenged as much as I was. But I'm very, very thankful for it, because I definitely, like everyone else has said, I feel like I've grown more than I could ever have if I did anything else this semester. And I just feel more comfortable and more confident going out after graduation to different newsrooms or wherever I end up, saying that I know how to do this because I spent a whole semester working my tail off. So thank you to everyone who made that possible and helped me grow.
Yay. Wyatt?
Do I need to stand?
Yeah.
Yes, you have to stand. Sit down.
So a little different than a lot of people. I didn't really know what I was getting into with this class at all before the class, because my prior experiences were much more like print-based, never anything broadcasting, and I volunteered. You can count them on like one hand the amount of times I ever volunteered, which looking back I should have done more of. But and so coming into this class, I was like, I don't really see myself in broadcasting long term, but it'll be a good experience just to do something else and learn more skills. And then this class taught me, I think, in Maddie's words, that I'm more of a producing kind of gal. So I've discovered that I really enjoy producing, and now I'm focused on that long term. And so without Newsource, I would never have discovered that. So, and then plus, like, just working with you guys twice a week, like, not all week, don't get crazy. But twice a week has been, like, I've really looked forward to these days. Like, so, thanks.
And Wyatt's on his way to produce in Bakersfield. So, all right. All right. Donovan?
My turn. So, very similarly to Veronica, I transferred here. I'm from Georgia, but I went to school in Ohio, came back home to go to Grady, thinking that I wanted to be a hotshot news reporter, go to the network. And so I came in 2017. I volunteered in that class with Miles, was EP, Professor Cantrell, Grace Holland was in that class, Silly Palermo, all of which are in news. I met Christina for the first time. Veronica, you weren't here yet. But yeah, so it was a great experience. I like being here most days. Some days I didn't. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It helped me realize what it is that I want to do and how I can pivot and learn different things and recognize that things may change.
Yeah.
And things are changing.
Yeah.
So
as we speak.
As we speak. So, so we'll see what the future holds. But it's been a great experience. I've learned a lot with you all. So.
Can't wait to see where you end up.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Luke?
Oh, I got one, yeah. So I remember my sophomore year volunteering for Newsource, and I don't even know who it was, but I remember a girl talking about how she went to sleep early, like every night after Newsource. She never could do anything but just go home and crash, and I thought I'd never understand that until I went to bed at like 10:30 every day this semester. Unless I was like staying up writing my sports readers or something. So Newsource definitely taught me that my sleep schedule needs to be better. But at the beginning, I mean, I thought I had a lot of confidence and knew all this stuff. And then don't know if anybody remembers, but I kind of messed up the Super Bowl score like one of the first days. And
it's in my notes.
It was, I thought it was gonna like ruin me. It like destroyed my self-confidence, but I'll always remember the Super Bowl score. And then after that, my first week anchoring, when Professor Cantrell was in here, and I attempted to do a story about volunteer firefighters and drove like all over the county. I was just like, man, is this really like what I'm supposed to be doing? And then off of that, I knew that I had a volunteer firefighter that I could do my profile piece on, but I was like, oh, I want to do it on a sports person, which granted, like I still want to do sports, but I think it was really beneficial for me that I ended up doing my story on a volunteer firefighter, just because it challenged me to kind of look at things from a different angle, and I developed a relationship with like a really cool person in the community, and he was like, you can always come back and talk to us and that kind of thing. So there's just so many things that I think challenged me this semester, but it was really beneficial, and it was great having everybody here because I feel like I learned something from like every single person in this room at some point or another, whether it was just asking how to do like a blur on a picture or adjust audio or whatever. But yeah, thanks guys, and thanks to all the volunteers and everything too, because y'all are awesome.
Cool. So I just want to give a shout out to Savannah, who joined us to help in the producing ranks. What?
Can I say something?
You can, but I also want to give a shout out to Professor Cantrell and Dr. Bright, who were tremendous help.
I just want to say, I mean, you guys have been absolutely amazing. I remember I told Professor Cantrell like the first week, I was like, these people are weirdly really nice. And I was like, maybe like they'll just turn mean once they know what they're doing. And
really quick, we're going to go off on CTL, but we're going to keep streaming on Facebook and YouTube. So if you're watching on cable, I know, shocker, right? Have a good night, and we'll see you in August when we pick back up. Bye. I don't know in the notes.
it's going to take us off, so bye.
Okay.
But then you guys all turned out to actually stay nice all semester, which was really weird. It has been like an absolute pleasure to work with every single one of you. And it's also been great to be on this side of things rather than being in the being in the class or being a manager or volunteer. Like, it's been awesome to be able to kind of be more of, you know, an instructor type. And, you know, when I'm old like you guys, maybe I'll come back and do that.
You had to say that?
I not like not
Take the mic.
but yeah, and I'm very grateful for Professor Cantrell to be able to do this with you guys. I didn't think I was gonna be back in this classroom again, but here I am.
Imagine
and
my
it
surprise.
it's been great to work with you guys and just explore different ways to produce, and watching my little producers blossom has just been so great. I was kind of fearful that all of you would want to MMJ or do anchoring stuff, so it's been great to actually have people who wanted to produce. It's awesome, but thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Savannah. Professor Cantrell, did you want to add something? And Dr. Bright, you wanna come on?
Very little. I just want to say thank you to you, Professor Shaven, because I think you've been a wonderful inspiration for these students. I look at the work and I go, this is pretty professional. Actually, this is very professional. I had some notes from today and I went, why am I doing this? It's good every day. You guys really have learned a lot, and I think, like Professor Shaven and Dr. Bright, we're all just really, really looking forward to you coming back. And I hope you do know, when you come back and talk to the people who come behind you, you've got a lot of cred. And I hope you also know that you take that Grady banner with you. And because of what people have done before you, it attracted you here. And we know that you're going to make everybody really proud, make Grady really proud, and then attract some more young, smart, and the best of the best to come here. You guys have got a far tougher job than we had. You know, we're old now, as Savannah says, but before, you know, because we weren't always, our jobs, it was always tough, but you guys have it tougher. And what's great is you're up for it. You're just up for it. And Professor Shaven, I just really appreciate everything that you've put into them. I'm appreciative and amazed and deeply grateful to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. All right, we're not going to get anything out of you, Dr. Bright?
I already spoke this morning.
Okay. Well, Dr. Bright, you know, is responsible for getting everybody's material up, you know, online, and this fabulous relaunch of the website, which looks so great. And I think you guys are going to have wonderful portfolios just as a result of her efforts. So, you know, I think we owe her a great debt of gratitude too. So, guys, what about improvements? Are there things you want to mention that maybe you think could have been better, would be better for the next class coming in? Yeah.
But that's, I'm really happy that it's going to be bigger again in the fall.
Yeah,
that's going to be great.
That's going to be helpful.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, we were
can't
small but
experience
mighty.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
My only thing is, and I know we kind of talked about it sometimes, but the pitch meetings just sometimes go a little long, and it's like tough when we're getting out kind of later than we'd probably like. I feel like sometimes we like veer off into different conversations. I don't know, that's my only thing, is sometimes it's tough when we're getting out a little bit later.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
This isn't necessarily the class, but more of like a Grady College thing in general. But I just think if you, like when you get accepted to Grady and you're planning on taking this course, you should almost be required to do the other side, because I just think it gives you so much more knowledge and just puts you a little bit more ahead than coming in here blind. And I just think a lot can be beneficial on that side as well as this side, because a lot of skills I had were from just volunteering and being a manager on that side, and I got to apply them here and just work on them even more so.
You sort of know the language coming in. Yeah.
I was just gonna say exactly what you were saying about working on the other side. I feel like that was like really important, because then you'll understand better like what's going on behind the scenes. But also I think it's just important that like the people who come in here, just if you're gonna report, it's great to have your stories. Like we always had like a thing with us being so small, we really did have to have a lot of stories set up in advance, because if anything fell through, like, you know, what are you gonna do? But but like I feel like there was a great thing with pushing yourself to come in with the story and then turn it in one day. And I feel like if you don't take, like, as long as people learn to like take, it's okay to have everything set up. Yeah, that's like ideal if you want an easier day. But really, if you want to get the real experience, you need to just come in, pitch a story, and see how to turn it in one day. Get more than one person, because you don't want to see a person more than one time if you're getting a sound bite. But just like if you experience the full day of just really what it's like to turn a story, I feel like you'll get so much more out of the experience. And yeah, your stuff may turn out crappy the first time, but it'll be okay. You'll learn.
I think the tough part in this class is it was so small, virtually everyone had to turn, anchors included. We didn't have the flexibility we had last semester for things to fall through. Yeah.
Personally, just looking at like doing stories and like having to go out the same day and trying to interview people. I know a lot of my stories, I had people like just running, trying to call 20 different people, literally 20. And I just feel like a lot of people aren't aware of what Grady Newsource is in the community. And I think it would be beneficial if you or Cantrell or even Dean Davis like just kind of either went around UGA as a whole and talked to the different colleges saying these students are probably going to approach you for an expert's point of view, or even like the different police departments and sheriff departments, not necessarily giving the students the advantage saying like, oh, they're coming, but like just making them aware of Grady Newsource so that way when you're giving us our beats and we go out, it's like they know what Grady Newsource is, they know the intent of it. I feel like it would make it a lot easier just based off of when I worked for the Red and Black. Anytime I just mentioned the name, they're like, oh, sure, I'm available, even though they had a meeting like 10 minutes before my interview. So I think just putting that name out there and getting people to understand that we do want to tell stories would be really beneficial too.
And I think as we grow our online and social presence, we'll become more ubiquitous. More people will know about us, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Or even the other way, when I was doing that, maybe I shouldn't say this, but when I was doing the, I think it was the cash bail, like, the people that I was talking to they thought that we were part of a different organization that, like, didn't represent both sides. So I was, like, telling them that we were separate, but they were like, well, we already talked to you and you guys didn't represent us well, so we don't want to talk to you again. So I think also like making, to her point, like that would help in those certain scenarios too.
Okay.
I think one thing that will help with timing as well, when it becomes time to proof scripts, having more than one professor do that, because that block of time is when the stress happens. And so if I busted a tear in that block of time.
Yeah. Well, we thought you would get your packages in earlier. We didn't know.
So I think, having a second person being able to look at those scripts so that way we can track sooner. Be very helpful in the future.
Okay.
I think one thing is like for sports, obviously, like me and Danny did it multiple times, but just encouraging the people who are doing sports to try to do their readers like the day before or the night before, because it saves you so much time, and your graphics. I mean, once you get the hang of it, like it's not that bad, but especially doing it the first time or so, it's really tough to worry about that, worry about writing a script, worry about being in the studio at 1 or whenever. So I would just say like trying to encourage them, because most of the sports stuff that you're gonna do has like happened the day before or the night before. And the other thing I was gonna say was maybe, especially just for like the beginning of the semester, maybe have like we have these sheets with the transfer, TriCaster, or whatever, just having like a schedule that says like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4:30, like 4:30 anchors in the studio, that kind of thing. It seems like a small thing, but I feel like it would be kind of helpful.
That's a good idea.
I was just going to add to the professor and faculty awareness, just growing our student awareness, because I'm sure y'all, none of my friends even had heard of Grady Newsource until I was in the class, and they obviously know what I put into it, and they turn on our channel sometimes to watch me and stuff, but just a lot of people don't know what we are or who we are, and I just think I mean, I'm sure people have better ideas than like me, but like even just putting up posters around campus, like with our name on it and saying, you know, we go live every Monday and Wednesday, follow us on social media, just so students even see our name, because I feel like we don't advertise ourselves anywhere. And then even like my uncle, he's so old school and doesn't own a computer or smartphone, and he wanted to watch our newscast, and he ended up coming to Athens for a day, and he tried to go to Tate to watch it because his hotel didn't get the channel or something, so we went to Tate and watching it. And even if Tate could on their TVs that they have, or you know, just stream us, just
That's
so
a great
people can
idea,
see us,
actually.
or
Yeah.
just I don't know, grow our presence a little more, because I think that would grow our social presence and just everything.
Yeah, we talked, you know, I think earlier in this semester or last semester about just some old school ways to get our name out, like even handbills or something around campus, I think would help.
I think it would be beneficial.
Yeah.
Having it on all the time, like, and they force it on these people. It's good news.
Along the same lines, I can't remember who said it about kind of having sort of a requirement for knowing when you want to go in this class. I mean, I'm very blessed to know editing as well that I do, and I wish there was some course or some requirement where you guys could know, like, be so equipped with editing, because I think that was such a very like slow moving thing this semester, was getting you guys to understand, you know, like how to make your editing process faster and how to get your packages turned in quicker. Like, and I think there needs to be a requirement for some sort of video editing experience. Like if Premiere is gonna stay the standard for like the industry, then like people need to learn it before they come into this class, because that'll help you guys like so much, and it'll like help you professionally. Like, yeah.
Anybody else?
I'm going to say one more thing. And then going off of that, I think, I know specifically Shumway just because I had him. He does try to get all of that in within his video class, but I don't know, I've mentioned it to a couple people, but just having like a pre-Grady Newsource class where not only you're learning editing, but also like what CAN is, and like, so that way you don't have to spend as much time in the beginning weeks kind of going over that. Instead, you're like really diving in from the beginning. Maybe just having a week of like seeing how it is, and then you kind of go through that. Yeah.
I think it would be awesome, like during that first week, because I know we did it like an exercise. We had like a partner exercise. Actually, Majesty was my partner. But I think if we did like they had time, like if we did like a week of like, okay, you guys are coming in at 9, you guys are going out, you're going to actually turn this and produce it and do it just like you do, because even the first day is still a shock, like having to turn your package. It's just a shock. But I feel like it would be amazing if you had like the time to do like partner day, and then y'all go out and turn a full story and like put it on and like have Anchor sitting down there and like the full night. That way you're not
I guess it would depend on the size of the class, you know, if you had the luxury to do that.
I feel like if it's like a fake thing that's not really going on, it's not really going to go up on Facebook. So it doesn't really matter if the newscast, even if our class, like, because if we only had 12 people, it would be 6 things, and newscast would be 15 minutes. Like, but you'll still get that, you know, you'll see how it runs.
I think, you know, one of the punishing things, but one of the great things about this class is that it's like being thrown into a cold bath. You know, you have to immediately start, you know, producing newscasts within the few weeks, you know. And so if you think about how far you've come, I mean, from that first week of a live newscast, it's incredible. And just how did we get that newscast even on the air that first week? I don't even know anymore, you know. It was just like constant triage. So let's go eat pizza. What do you think? It's there. Yeah. Okay.
Should someone tell Bert we're done because we got to stop streaming?
Oh, everybody's just standing up and listening.
Oh, we got to go take a picture first.
Hey, Bert, we're about done. Bert. Okay, hey.